Hello and welcome to Movie of the Year, 2020 / part 2. Guys, this is it. We are going to do it. It's 4 movies: Defy Bloods, Loves Rock, Never Rarely, Sometimes Always, and First Cow. Kate, are these the 4 movies that you expected?
Yes. I mean, I thought it was very weird to begin with that Sound of Metal wasn't a part of this conversation at all. But I would say of the bracket that we had at in front of us, I wasn't sure if it was going to be Nomadland, or if it was going to be Defied Bloods. But I think that these 4 are very, very strong contenders.
We're not talking about Nomadland for the rest of the show, but I would like to throw it to you as far as Nomadland goes, and just have a different pronouncement every time that I throw it to you, okay?
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, got it.
Okay. Mike,
Nomadland?
Are these the 4, Mike? Are these the 4?
Sorry.
I mean, there would only have to be 4 at this point in time. Is it crazy the way back isn't here? Probably not. No, the one that I think is
Hold
surprising.
on there, brother.
The way back?
The way back is good.
I know, but it's not top 4 good. But I'm thinking of ending things. I do think it's a bit stunning it's not here. I think in different matchups it would be here instead of. I don't want to besmirch anybody's
That's the
good name.
playoffs, baby. Mike wants all these movies to get a participation trophy.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's his generation.
Yeah, the kids decided that. They demanded it. It's these fucking parents.
Tompkins, what's the movie that you're shocked that is not in Defy Bloods, Lovers Rock, Never Rarely, and First Cow?
Sound of Metal. Kate said it. She said it right. I don't understand. And I guess the idea is you have acknowledged that there was sort of a procedural error, and yet to not address that is
Well, the procedure worked fine.
We're very much addressing it.
I don't know if we need to say there's an error, but
Well, I do think there's some people on the panel who think that's like a pedantic movie that just does what it barely needs to do in order to get Oscars. Yeah.
okay, that's just Ryan.
Greg, of these 4, what movie is missing? What should be in the 4?
March Madness, baby. I do think that there are 2 Pop Filter Hall of Fame directors, and one it's shocking did not make it in here, and one it's a little shocking did make it in here, given what they gave us this year.
All right, let's get to our first award. Our first award tonight is On-Screen Duo. It's Autumn and Skylar from Never Rarely, Sometimes Always.
You know, which is incredibly beautiful. It was incredibly powerful to witness that. But when the way that you framed it just now made me think that, like, the God's honest truth is that women talk to each other a lot.
I disagree. I've never heard it.
Hyperverbal people. Famously hyperverbal people. One of my favorite things is going to the bathroom and keeping the door open because me and my friend never have to stop talking.
Or pooping.
That is the reality. Or pooping. But you know, like that's why women go to the restroom together. It's because they don't want to stop talking to each other. And so like why it was a beautiful stylistic choice, but now that you say it like that, kind of just like not true to my experience.
I don't want to take away from your life either, Kate, but have you been from Western Pennsylvania? There's just fucking nothing to talk about when you grow up there. So they've done it, man.
Yeah,
they've said it all.
Let's just remember that given the context of the movie, the few things they do have to talk about are not
pretty fucking bleak.
Yeah.
I guess
Autumn is always like, I've never been pregnant. Like, what the fuck, Autumn? Shut the fuck up.
I guess Skylar could have said, like, I think my dad jerked off my dog last night, and my mom got a little upset about it.
Speaking of girls being an on-screen duo, Kate, the next nominee is Cookie and King Lou from First Cow.
Oh, I mean, it's hard. It's interesting, these 2 duos up against each other. Considering what we were just talking about, even, right? Like the verbal relationship, but you know, and 2 quiet movies in a lot of ways. I loved Cookie and King Lou. I think that there is a very feminine dynamic between them that's very sacred and very lovely, and
even though they don't talk
very
a
balanced.
lot.
Even though they don't talk, I would say that they talk more than Autumn. And,
King Lou, King Lou basically never
low
stops
bar.
talking, and Cookie
Exactly.
hardly ever talks. Yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of a traditional gender role, as if King Lou is the man and Cookie's the woman who's just like, I'm just gonna hang out and just listen to whatever you got to say, I guess. And King Lou's just like, great, I'm just gonna talk nonstop.
Yeah.
Every little thing
That's
that
true.
comes into my head.
That is the one thing that breaks the rule is if one dude's in the space. Really fucks with the dynamic.
I think that is the one fault in our friendship, Kate, is that we are very much two King Lou's. There's no Cookie betwixt us.
Well, the God's honest truth is that both of us, just in terms of vibe, really can't land on masculine or feminine. So we're constantly kind of butting heads, trying to figure out who's going to be the friggin' lady this time.
Can the three of us decide? We can vote.
Yeah, we can vote. There's three of us, so
No, thank you.
no. It's
Mike,
weird how
did
literally
heard of the
everybody who's met
19th
them wants to
Amendment?
vote.
Mike, the third nominee for Best On-Screen Duo, and I feel like you've spoken to this before, but do it again, is Cookie
will.
and that cow.
I could never not do it again. It's what I do mostly is repeat myself. For a long time in my life, people think I don't like animals because I didn't get the love. And then I think Cookie and the cow represent what the connection between a person and an animal. They represent so purely and so magically, and that it is the moment that's proven. It's not just Cookie saying, I'm sorry about your husband and your child, which is a weird thing to say to an animal, but it's when the cow recognizes Cookie and is so pumped that her best friend just showed up again when she didn't expect him and blows up his spot.
To a cow especially, that is really like something fun. Like, have you seen all those videos of the cows getting out of the barn for the first time, and they're like, "Grass! My best friend Grass is here!"
All those videos, huh?
And just revealed his Reddit search.
Yeah.
Also, it's really funny that Cookie is the cow's King Lou.
Because Cookie,
Hey,
the one thing
someone's
Cookie
the
doesn't
King Lou to someone else. That's the God's honest truth.
He's gonna roll in here and talk at you this whole time.
Well, maybe if the cow participated a little in the conversation, he wouldn't have to.
So I says to him, King, if you don't leave your shoes outside, I'm gonna freak out.
Yeah, that's what makes me think that Cookie is just the cow's Fox News, just nonstop talking to it about what is going on around it.
God.
Tompkins, the next nominee for Best On-Screen Duo is David and Soonja from Minari.
These two are so delightful. Two children, both young at heart, one old in body.
Old in body. Put it in my Tinder bio.
The other one kind of old at heart too, right?
Yeah.
And
I think
I love a
Soonja's
partner who's
very-
like, yes, you maybe drink pee, just don't do it again. Like, that's friendship, right?
Yeah.
That's what Ryan tells me every time.
All right, okay, joke's on me. I drank Mountain Dew. Don't do it again.
Promise me you'll get in therapy.
They are so good and like in a movie that is so profoundly sad at points, it also had some of the funniest moments of the entire year in film. And the grandma getting obsessed with water from the mountain and David saying it's not a penis, it's a ding dong are all timers, both of them. And David doing his pinching his cheeks to make sure he's not dreaming, peeing in a cup, giving it to
I
his
want to
grandma.
make sure I'm fucking this grandma up right.
In real life, putting on his little cowboy boots and then
Yes.
running as fast as he can out into the woods.
They're modern day Abbott and Costello. They
So
really are.
charming. Yeah,
what you do
oh my God, that's right, Mike.
Just before she sips that fucking yellow, boiling hot Mountain Dew, you want to be by the door and then run out that door as fast as possible.
You
As
have to
fast
tell
as-
that.
In the athlete's choice of tread, cowboy boots.
Cowboy boots.
Yeah. Smooth
As
as
fast
ass
as
is
your
what they want.
porous heart can take you into the center.
Your absolutely diaphanous heart.
Your final nominee is Ruben and Joe, and Joe already won Best Supporting Actor. I do think that Ruben and Joe together changed the entire movie. I think that Sound of Music is kind of lacking in
Sound of Metal?
in any scene that doesn't have Ruben and Joe together.
Or Sound of Music is lacking as a film because it never.
It's
has
definitely
Ruben and Joe.
lacking Joe and Ruben.
But
Yeah.
Sound of Metal also is lacking. when
Ryan,
these
you
two
said
aren't
Sound of
together.
Music instead of Sound of Metal.
We're making fun of you, idiot.
Did you get that?
We all
pick up
have
on that?
great. We all have great jokes, but the movie Sound of Metal from 2020, I think that it is lacking anytime that Ruben isn't crushing a donut that Joe told him not to.
Crushing a donut.
Joe specifically said, "Do not crush this donut."
You know what? Fuck Joe. But like them sitting at a table together is, I do think, one of the best on-screen duos. And your winner is. I think this might be predicting something, guys. It's Autumn and Skylar from Never, Rarely, Sometimes,
Whoa.
Always.
Ah.
Predicting.
Is
like,
it the
when people
handhold?
don't
It's
talk a lot.
the reach around the pole, right?
It's
I
the
don't know
reach
whether you
around.
want to
Classic
call it
reach
reach
around.
around.
When I think
That
of that
is-
movie, that's what I think of.
The reach around.
The tender
reach
reach around. Yeah.
Tender reach around.
I guess I think of the other one where she holds the nurse's hand.
Yeah, that handhold
Yeah.
is powerful. I think of the
Around the
karaoke.
I think of the chicken.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that beats her at tic-tac-toe?
Dude, I think of the
Yeah.
aborted fetus.
That chicken is fucking smart. Oh
I
yeah,
would beat that chicken at tic-tac-toe, motherfucker.
I feel like the aborted fetus was like a third character. Mike, we could not do sex and violence. We had to do sex or violence. So explain this award to us, please, real quick.
So in a normal year, it's best sex or best violence, and 2020 taught us that they are the same thing.
Oh,
There's
sing
your
it,
award.
brother. Sing it, brother.
All right, I guess that's the explanation. So now Mike is handed an envelope. Mike, the first nominee is Ben Affleck falls down the stairs.
Look, nothing is sexier than that man who cannot hold Dunkin' Donuts falling right down those stairs. It is. Violence is best when it's both funny and awful, and this scene
What?
captures that so well.
Mike, you have
Why
not
did
seen
no
this
one
movie,
tell
right?
Ben Affleck that you can stop method acting for a role once the movie's done?
You say I have not seen it? I've done a show with you about this movie, asshole.
And in the movie, the whole time he's having trouble with the 12 steps, right?
Sure.
I know who's winning best joke of this episode. It's fucking Greg.
Rich man.
Greg, my man, coming through.
The next nominee is from Defy Bloods. It's when Eddie walks onto a mine, and this character,
Yeah.
who pretends that he's rich, and he's not, he just walks backwards
And you
for
just-
so long.
Yeah. He takes like 18 steps backward, and the whole time, as the audience, you're like, oh, wait, there's something about this shot that tells me he's going to die, but
And then you get to the point where you're like, oh, it's been going on for so long, then he probably won't die.
Yeah, more than other parts we've talked about in previous episodes that has Spike Lee lost it, and because there's bigger parts of the movie, but it's this. This is, has he lost it, is because he only telegraphed what was about to happen.
And sure, he does explode, but then we also get a little bit of his half torso being like, Spike Lee messages. Here's my final 3
Yeah.
Spike Lee messages.
he delivers a soliloquy
Yeah.
as like half
Please.
a dude.
Pass this all
That's
on to
half a
Spike Lee.
dude.
But I have to say, though, like, you this is what's so hard about Spike Lee. Like, he knew that that's how all that would come off, and he made that
Yeah.
choice
Yeah.
anyway, so you have to be like, okay,
He's
this
a fucking weirdo.
this is a decision he made, and I think it's because he's just an absurdist, and so
Hey.
like you expect him to be a realist, but he never has wanted to be. He wants to be an
Yeah.
extreme absurdist, and he likes that.
Sometimes your basketball game's about to start, and you got to just finish the script, right?
Oh, shit, my basketball game.
Oh dang! I'm supposed to be out there cheering on my friends.
Tompkins, the next nominee for Best Sex or Violence is Joe falls down a hole and dies from Soul.
Yeah,
so
this
funny.
this was good. I was not
Approved
super
of
into
this
Soul, but this was a classic Pixar moment, and especially classic in the sense of like managing to include something like very heavy and dark, like dying just before your your life is supposed to come together, and does it so like it incorporates just the right amount of like humor and like visual, it's like a visual gag, all that stuff, so that
It shows us that death is also a form of birth because we come into this world through a hole and he exits the world through a hole.
yeah.
The vagina that is the sewer of New York.
And in that way, sex is sort of a death and a birth because you're going in and out of the
in a very metaphorical way. Certainly not in its practicality. Vaginas have nothing to do with birth. They have to do with cum.
We are podcasting so good. This is really great podcasting. And then finally, or not finally, but Greg, the next nominee is from Bad Boys for Life. It's the motorcycle chase.
Oh,
hell yeah.
Of course. The iconic motorcycle chase from the movie I have not seen.
Oh,
Bad
can I
Boys
talk about
2.
it?
No, Mike.
No,
please.
Greg, please.
Just give me a little.
Greg has the
just give
floor.
me a little bit of space here. Motorcycles. They've
What
never
are they?
really meant that much. No, sorry. Go, Mike.
There's two scenes, and I don't want to give away the other one in case it's the last nominee. In Bad Boys for Life, it's mostly a bad movie, but the motorcycle chase is up there in great modern car chases. It's fucking rad. Motorcycles are the coolest form of vehicle, especially when they have fucking machine guns in their hands shooting at everybody else. It's well choreographed. There's a lot going on. It's not the one I would choose. I do hope I get to talk about somebody literally tackling a building to the ground, but we'll see.
You don't, Mike, because the final nominee
God damn it.
for
The man tackles a building to the ground, Ryan.
for best sex or violence is Kate. Talking about Ruben and Lou smooching from Sound of Metal.
Yeah, I mean, something that's sexy is almost violent.
It's the one sex of the sex.
The
or
one
violence
sex,
award.
yeah. No, I mean, yeah. I thought I liked that scene.
Your nominees are for best sex or violence are Ben Affleck falls down the stairs, Eddie walks onto a mine, Joe walks down into a hole and dies, motorcycle chase, and Ruben and Lou smooch, and it is Eddie walks onto a mine.
If more people had seen Color Out of Space, the mutant alpaca monstrosity would have won this. This is horseshit. Go see B-level Nick Cage movies, everybody.
All right, we're going to take a break, and then we're going to actually kick out more movies from the 4 that we have. Hey, guys, thank you so much for listening so far. And let me just tell you that everything ahead of this commercial is much better than what came before it. That's my guarantee. While I have you here, let me tell you about a website. It's called yourpopfilter.com, and it's everything you need that's related to Pop Filter. Everything Mike, everything Ryan, everything Greg, everything Cassie, everything is there at yourpopfilter.com. While you're there, go to yourpopfilter.com/Amazon. Make that your new Amazon bookmark and do your shopping from there. That way, we get a little piece of the action, and Amazon doesn't. Make sure you're also listening to everything that Pop Filter has to offer, which includes the Superhero Show, a podcast that covers every single TV show that's based on a comic book or comic book property, and Movie of the Year, where we sit down and try and figure out what is the single greatest movie of any given year. That's Superhero Show, that's Movie of the Year, and that's yourpopfilter.com. Rate, subscribe, review. All right.
Bye.
Round 2, Battle 1. It's Defy Bloods versus Lovers Rock. And I think, as a host, I can make this quick. But is there anybody who thinks that this is not quick? I mean, I love some Spike Lee. He's a Pop Filter Hall of Famer. But Lovers Rock. Right? Let's go to
when
Mike.
you look at the
minutes.
when you look at the 4 movies, doesn't Defy Bloods kind of stick out a little bit
Like,
as
doesn't
like,
belong here.
Yeah, like it's just like maybe
Obligatory.
It's overstayed. It's welcome.
It's a ton of misses. And
Yeah.
it's a ton of hits, but it's a ton of misses. And so it should get got.
It's a current Pop Filter Hall of Famer versus eminent Pop Filter Hall of Famer in Steve McQueen. We all loved The Great Escape. And
Think about Bullet.
what he did as a director. It's. I think Spike Lee will only make interesting movies for his entire rest of his career. He only ever has, but that doesn't mean great
But
movies.
not necessarily good.
Remember how good Black Klansman was?
I
Like,
fucking
we know
loved Black Klansman.
he just made a good movie, so we know that he can. It's just
Yeah, I thought
misses.
I know Tomp disagrees, but I thought Black Klansman was great.
He's wrong.
Yeah, I think he might be. I'll throw him under the bus.
I thought it was mean to white people like me.
yeah.
Yeah. I didn't like what they had to say about white people.
Yeah. Could you tone that part down?
Tompkins really relates to the guy who's in Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt and Black Klansman. He only plays the one character of big bearded guy.
Yeah.
He's upset.
The star of the movie where let's never remember the name of actors or titles of films.
Yeah.
It was the star of the movie where the guy put the bomb in the Olympic trash can.
Oh,
Richard Jewell.
It's the name of a city.
He was also in The Five Bloods, assholes, including me, an asshole. He was one of the humanitarians, so you got to play the person once.
Oh, shit.
And every time I see him in a movie for a second, I'm like, how did I get up there?
Was I in a movie?
He was in the Tanya Harding movie, I, Tanya, and I based a character in one of my D&D games off of that guy because he's such a little thumb.
I, Tanya is a sequel to I, Robot, yes?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. What must have happened?
I, Tanya, Scam's Adventure.
I, Claudius.
What must have happened is that Clint Eastwood or whoever pilots Clint Eastwood's corpse around saw him in
the tiny alien from Men in Black.
Yeah. Saw him in I, Tanya and was like, that's Richard Jewell. We can do this.
That's my jewel.
Yeah.
That's my jewel.
Just because we have rules here. Just because we have Richard rules here. Mike, Defy Bloods or Lovers Rock?
Oh, it's Lovers Rock, the movie of the year. I'm calling it now.
Really?
Kate?
Huh.
Kate.
Lovers Rock.
Tompkins.
Lovers Rock.
Greg?
I love a movie's title that is a truism. Lovers do rock.
Yeah.
Lovers rock.
That's a fucking clean sweep. All right. Musical moment.
Ooh.
Lovers rock.
Here
Next.
we go. Greg, the first nominee is the a cappella Marvin Gaye from Defy Bloods.
Okay, probably the best moment of Defy Bloods, if not that long monologue through the jungle. But this is honestly where the movie succeeds is just the five of them hanging out and vibing and being a really cool group, and it makes you feel sad that you don't get to see these guys be free of trauma and loss and violence and everything. And this scene where they just sing, and acapella is so powerful when done well, and it's done really well here, and it's such an organic feeling, and I can't believe that moment takes place in the same movie with that landmine scene. Those tones
what landmine? I'm just gonna dance backwards.
I think it's not great that Eddie also did a cappella the landmine sound. That made that scene weaker.
A boom!
Tompkins, the next nominee for musical moment is the talent show from Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always. He's Got the Power of Love Over Me.
I love this moment. We talked about it on the episode itself. Rest in peace, Simone.
That did suck that she died.
Pop filter Hall of Famer.
That kind of cast a pall over that episode.
I killed her by beating her so badly.
She didn't even freaking care.
It really shows her just as a cool, talented young person who is also hopelessly out of place and is trying to navigate that. She wants some sort of, it's a decision to, at this weird 50s sock hop, be like, I'm going to bring the mood way down. And it's almost cry for help. And yet there's so much strength and power behind it at the same time.
And this whole thing of I know that you just yelled something, but I'm going to keep going. I'm going to just fucking live my life.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let that count. Kate.
Yeah.
The next nominee is it's instrumental Toxic from Promising Young Woman.
Oh, I think that this is the one. I think it might be my favorite moment of any movie in 2020. It was awesome. That reveal was so slow, and I mean, think about it. I name another musical moment in the past year that led to you going on your Spotify and adding that to a playlist.
Every version
I
of that
am
song.
obsessed. Oh well, again.
Kate, there's only
Toxic.
one, and it's Paris Hilton, and that was not nominated. So
It's true. It's
that's
true.
fine.
But yes, Toxic is the greatest pop song of the 21st century. That's just a fact. And this version is so good at what it's doing, and the reveal is so deliciously slow. And I think it's iconic. I love it. I loved it. I love it.
Your next nominee is Joe Wow's Dorothea, So Joe in Soul goes to his audition and plays piano, and then he goes into some fugue state, and that's awesome. And then Mike, the final nominee is from Lovers Rock. It's called Silly Games.
Oh, I don't want to talk about how many times I cried watching Lovers Rock just because people being together makes me weep at this point in time. But, oh my goodness, wedding level tears watching all of them for such a shocking amount of film in a movie that, as we have talked about, is only 23 minutes long. Half of it is them, the room,
without commercial break,
in real life, acapelling Silly Games. And holy shit, is it gorgeous in every sense of the word.
Mm-hmm.
And including some parts of it which are actually not that gorgeous. Like
there's mistakes.
It's just normal people.
Oh, yeah.
That makes it that made me miss everybody.
Yeah, made me miss
Maybe
people.
miss
That's
parties.
for sure.
I'm gonna cry right now thinking about it.
Aw.
Made me miss
I'm a little
Steve
drunk.
Yeah, we know.
McQueen. Ryan, may I vent?
Yeah. Let's hear this.
Wait, the Tomp, the floor is yours.
The moment from Lovers Rock, and I understand that there are backdoor politics here that I do not understand and cannot control, and that's fine. But the moment when Kung Fu fighting comes on, and they freak the
Wait, hold on,
fuck
Tompkins, if
out.
I can interrupt you. Hold on, just so everybody knows. If you pick something first, because I mean, there's only 5 of us, right?
Mhm.
So in the vote, if you pick something first, it's gonna be
In many ways,
guaranteed-
New York City is the sick.
Holy shit, Kate. I swear to fucking Christ.
If 2 or more of us are gathered in its name, New York City is there.
But you would think that if multiple people pick this thing as first, then it should be on there, and it was not. And Tompkins, I'm with you, but go ahead.
It so perfectly captures the feeling. The other scene it made me remind of is, it made me remind of is in. It made me
He teaches
remind of
English
Mad
at
Men
school.
when a song is on. When Chubby Checkers comes on and Mad Men, and was it Peggy? Or what's her name? Peggy. Pam?
Peggy Olsen.
Yeah, Peggy Olsen. Yeah.
Peggy
She starts
Pam.
to do the twist, and everyone is like insane.
God, the most heartbreaking scene. One of the most heartbreaking scenes in that show.
Yeah, and it's like a combination of like actual person to person human emotion going on, but also just capturing the feeling of like like people went nuts over this song. Like that feeling of like that song is on. Like I remember it's nowhere near this level. It's just the closest I've come to experiencing it in person. But the Cupid Shuffle came on while I was in a bar. And everyone was like, "Get up! Get out of your seats! It's the Cupid Shuffle! You gotta get up!"
True. That's so
And
true.
I peaked so bad. I'm so sorry, Greg, for when you edit that. It captures it so perfect, and they're so excited to do all of their different fight dance moves, and they know exactly which ones they're gonna do. They're squared up with each other. That's
It
it.
made you miss people. It made you miss people.
Made me
That's
miss
how I
Kung Fu
felt.
fighting.
Yeah. It made me miss combat.
Once you get a taste, I mean, the adrenaline rush is really
Yeah, actually, the Kung Fu
unparalleled.
fighting scene's actually a crossover between Lovers Rock and Defy Bloods. I don't know if
Yeah,
you
I
noticed
mean,
that.
dance and combat are you could interchange those. If you
Oh,
get
yeah.
a taste for dance, you
Up.
want combat.
Obviously,
Yeah, it's true.
this podcast is the way.
Blood in the water.
Obviously.
All right, I want to do one more award before we get out of here for this break.
Wait,
And
who
I wanna
won?
Oh shit!
I think America.
Was it Kung Fu fighting?
Was it New
Was
York?
in New York City.
Kate.
Mike.
I hardcore disapprove of Tompkins running up on stage and saying what he did in a reverse tuxedo.
I'm gonna let Taylor finish. Right.
But it was Silly Games. Of course it was.
Yeah,
Yes.
of course.
How could Silly Games not win this award?
Yeah.
That would be silly itself.
Thank you,
The
Greg.
silliest game of
Oh
all.
my god! Do you guys want to
Friendship.
We're gonna do one more. We're gonna do screenplay, and we typically don't give director awards. This is the first time we've ever done
Directors
screenplay
suck?
awards. Why? Why will we do screenplay awards?
Screenplays
Mike.
rule?
What is a screenplay capable of that not a best movie is capable of?
I think it's the tightness. We've talked a lot through these 2 episodes about how much we like things being tight.
Amen.
It's dialogue. It is humanity on the page. Ryan can really breathe. It's what Kevin Smith used to convince people he was good at, and then we all got a little older. Screenplays.
Okay. Kate, do you think that screenplay award is a like what you want to give Best Picture award to, but you just don't? Like what's so great about Best Screenplay?
Well, like one of the things, as I think a lot of us, like as people who like English and books and writing and all those things, like one of the first things, a lot of nerds. One of the first things you're told when you're like engaging with thinking about writing a screenplay is that you are a part of a bigger thing. This is not you are writing on behalf of a bigger project. This is a skeleton for other things in a way that isn't true in other writing. And so I think when we take a second to, because film is so complex, movies are so complex, there are so many different aspects to it. So to take a second to really explore story in a very basic narrative way, I think is really, really important. And is its own award. It deserves its own space.
I have a different answer.
I love the screenplay. Yeah.
So, Greg and Tompkins, do you guys think that Best Movie is Best Screenplay, or do you guys think that like they are 2 different awards?
Best Screenplay is the Sorry About Your Director award.
So the Charlie Kaufman award?
Yeah.
I mean, I just there are so many intangibles that go into a movie, but the actual words that people say that's just one of the ways that you can evaluate the worth of a movie. But it's hard to, like, some of like the shots of southwestern America in Nomadland. Like there's no
AZ, baby.
Each of those is probably worth 1 million words a piece, and so there's like no quantifying that.
That's why it's such a long screenplay.
So verbose.
I noticed you had a lot of pages. That sucks.
But yeah, so I think they're very different. I'm glad that we're giving them awards separately.
I think so too. Tompkins, you agree with all that?
Yeah, I agree with the parts of it that agreed with the thing I said. That it's basically like,
sentence.
I'm so sorry that the actors and the directors could not follow through on your vision. We understand this could have been better.
But Kong versus Godzilla, great screenplay, shit movie.
Yeah, and
Tomp
honestly,
versus Godzilla.
Kong
of
is
reality.
not a good actor.
Your first nominee for Best Screenplay is Danny Bilson, Paul DeMeo, Kevin Wilmot, and Spike Lee for Defy Bloods, Mike. Mike, why is this a screenplay nominee?
It's the scene of them walking through the club together, the Marvin Gaye scene we talked about earlier, anytime they're all interacting, them on the boat dealing with
all director.
That all feels like
this is all
the
director,
boat shops. No, so I guess I don't know. You guys are being rude.
You just said shots.
I think this is
you said the boat shots. Do you think the boat shots are part of the screenplay?
Interactions between characters. I will hang up this Zoom call right now. The interactions between the characters on the boat.
Don't unclog our airway.
There's only 4 podcasters.
Well, there won't be any intelligent thought. So that's why I think Defy Bloods is such a great.
All right, so I'm up next, and the next nominee is Eliza Hittman.
No, fucking say it. You get to talk right now. Say it right now. This is what you all sounded like that whole time.
Mike, that is a great impression of 4 people at once.
All 4 of
He has our number.
But I love this screenplay because it doesn't seem like a screenplay, Like, it definitely feels like she went out and filmed people just, like, out and about.
That's a shot. That's filming.
Wow, Mike. Ryan, can you take it?
No, yeah, I'll do it. I'm going to count up my mic shots. Okay, Mike's going to get very upset. Just out and about on the New York town, just being like, oh my God, it's so hard to get an abortion. And then just like,
so easy.
Whole screenplay. So, yeah, I think that she did a really good job. Mike,
Again?
We have 6 nominees, so yeah.
Double up.
And you did
Like,
so
the next one is
good on
Charlie-
that first.
Yeah, this feels rude, actually.
Okay, so calm down, right? Be less purple-faced, and it's Charlie Kaufman from I'm Never...
Rarely, sometimes.
I'm never, rarely, sometimes,
thinking
always.
of ending always.
I mean, so I said, I think it was the last episode now, the part 1 of that this felt like a play on screen, but while also being good
That's a
on screen.
play,
I'm talking
that's
about
not
things
a
on screen,
movie.
that's a director, but this is a screenplay. Do
Do you think he's a better writer than director?
Yes. Oh, for sure.
Yes,
He shouldn't
for
direct
sure.
things. He should. If Charlie Kaufman and Christopher Nolan made a movie together, it'd be amazing because Christopher Nolan cannot write, but he refuses to not write movies. And Charlie Kaufman should only write movies.
Always write movies.
What a weird combo.
What a weird combo.
The way
That's a weird duo.
the way Kaufman.
Name a more iconic duo. Oh,
You can't, but it's just Pepsi and Coke. I fucking hate that meme.
Actually, I very rarely pair those two.
I pour them in one glass.
No. Welcome to my house. Hold on. Get into this shit. A little bit of Pepsi, a little bit of Coke.
The way he blends references and dialogue and everything he does there is amazing, and all the actors rise to the occasion.
That's acting. That's not the
So,
movie.
I'm going to punch the Zoom square where you exist.
Kate,
Yeah.
your next nominee is Darius and Abraham Martyr from Sound of Music.
He means metal.
Sound of Music. Yes.
No, talk about Lydia or whatever, Maria.
What the fuck? It's Sound of Metal, Kate. I don't.
You know, okay, this is interesting because Sound of Metal
Please
was
don't
one of
throw
my
this back on
favorite.
me.
No, well, one of my favorite movies of the year was Sound of Metal. But I think you're right. I think the screenplay's a little pedantic. And don't tell the other guys I said that.
It's true.
I've
It's
stopped
true.
listening, so this is...
What's Kate saying? What is Kate saying? What did Kate just say?
It's basically dumber than the Minari sound script.
Soundtrack. Dumber than the Minari soundtrack. Absolutely.
That soundtrack. That's not the movie.
Greg, the next nominee is Jonathan Raymond and Kelly Reichert for First Cow.
This is another one like Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always, where you almost are like, well, how much writing was there? Isn't it a lot? Isn't it a very quiet movie? But all the dialogue between characters is so really timeless. It's kind of like of the moment, and yet also it isn't like that old-timey style. And their relationships, basically most of what exists in this world is language. And the way she's able to, or actually who wrote the script? She wrote it as well, right?
Yes.
Wrote it and directed. The way she was able to capture so many different voices and define character just through dialogue so often was really marvelous.
I hate
Yeah,
that
especially
Greg
because
did
it's
make us all
such
yell
a
at him.
it's such a quiet movie. But I think that the writerliness of it is incredibly obvious. I mean, it opens with a quote. It opens with a William Blake quote.
Oh my god, a quote?
Yeah,
That's a quote.
like,
That's not the movie. That's not the
love it.
screenplay.
That's not the movie.
That's a reference.
But you know, like there is that movie's screenplay is it's like scaffolding, but it is so well executed. I was actually I hadn't thought about it, but that screenplay rules.
And then Tompkins, finally, we're going with Nomadland. Chloe Zhao.
It was good. Yeah, it was good.
Okay.
That's your opinion, not the screenplay.
I was like, what can I
Mike,
say
you've been
that's
killing it tonight.
so short? There's no chance.
Mike, that was so good. That was so good.
Yeah.
And the winner is Charlie Kaufman for I'm Thinking of Anything.
And you all talk shit.
I'm thinking of promising young women. I'm thinking of ending promising young women.
Nobody's happy about this, right?
The first question you asked was, is this what you get when you don't win like a more major award? That's what this feels like, kind of. It feels like our way of saying, like, well, you're not leaving empty-handed.
You're not
Yeah.
going to be best movie, but you're going to get this. All
Yeah.
right, when we come back, we're going to figure out what is the next winner of Round 2, Battle 2.
Hola, Filterinos. I just wanted to interrupt real briefly and say thank you for listening. Thank you for your support. If you want to support us a little more directly, you can go to patreon.com/yourpopfilter. there, depending on what tier you pick, $1 a month, $5 a month. If you're crazy, anything more than $5 a month, don't do that. You can get extra content. There's extra shows, extra series, behind-the-scenes stuff. You could pay for Ryan to draw you a picture. I can write you a poem. You can get the shirts off our very own backs. All of that and so much more over at patreon.com/yourpopfilter. While you're on the internet, you should check out Shady Monk. He does all the tunes you've been listening to. He's on Bandcamp, he's on Spotify, SoundCloud, wherever kids get their music these days that I'm too old to know. Shady Monk lives there. You can probably follow him on Twitter and Instagram as well. That's Shady Monk. Wherever you get music, check him out.
Okay, Dad.
I'm sorry. Was that? I'm just, guys, I'm looking at the list and I'm frustrated right now.
You're disappointed in all of us.
He's remembering Vietnam.
Look,
Sorry, Craig.
apologize to Greg for he was actually in Vietnam.
I was in Vietnam. It was lovely. It's fine.
I had a great time.
But also, it's never, rarely, sometimes, always versus first cow.
Oh.
Well matched.
And this I'm going to send to Kate because she's going to start the conversation off.
Yes. Yes, she is.
Nevertheless, she persisted.
Okay, English nerd. Okay. This is a hard one. I think that they're both really, really lovely movies. I think that they're both really
Oh my God, spit it out, Kate.
deft investigations of intimacy.
Wow.
Gendered intimacy.
Damn.
Okay?
That
So
Tompkins pump
there
really
you
worked.
fucking go, Tompkins. First cow. Move on.
I don't know, Mike, when you're looking at these two movies, does it feel bad to say first cow? Because one is so real and the other is like cow love.
Cow love is real too, Ryan. I don't think that's not real. It's. I think the realness of First Cow is also elevated with the magic of movies. And
Okay, so just say no. Just say no.
That's
I don't
magic,
have
that's not
anything to
movies.
say. Tompkins, where are you at with these two?
I like them both.
Greg, where are you
Holy
at with
cow.
these two?
Okay.
No, first cow.
I'm going to say something that always gets me shit, and yet I still say it every single time, which is
Always, sometimes,
Both-
never always.
both of these movies are very beautiful, and both of them are great explorations of the soul. But never, rarely, sometimes, always is such a brutal, difficult, awful experience on many levels, and it feels bad to watch it. I think ultimately you come out the other end and you're like, is there more goodness in the world than darkness in the world? Probably. But even
okay,
Really?
so, but like,
Greg,
hold on. Like,
Really?
for that, I will say that never, rarely, sometimes, always is like this is roughly what like the real world is like, and then like it that just like. But First Cow was like, oh, do you think it's better than this? Here, it's gonna get a little romantic. No,
But also,
fuck you. It's the
First-
same
fir-
thing.
but
It's the
that's
same
all
First
that
Cow is
variable. That's all
First
we
Cow is
get.
also brutal, but it
That's-
also
First Cow
leaves-
starts with, like, it's basically like
Memento
whoever
Mori.
the two main people in this are
Yeah.
dead
Yeah, Memento Mori.
and die.
And no matter what they are, because this movie is set in like 18.
No.
Yeah, that's
And
not that brutal.
But that is
100 years
that
will
is
die.
that is
All
the
right.
difference.
All we
is
get-
that human tragedy aged becomes beautiful.
All we get is the now of existence. All we get is the moments of beauty that are not defined by being at the end, because at the end is the brutal leaving of this place. But so the happiness that we can have, it appears in the middle. That's where happiness is. It's an archipelago.
Classic
across our
middle-aged
lives.
dude.
Across
Yeah,
our-
I said it.
across our lives.
It's actually better than being young.
Kate was just sitting there thinking, somebody should say it. Somebody should say it.
I do
Yeah.
think that King Lou and Cookie and the cow find the beauty in the brutality, where Tai Tai and Skylar are so young that they only see brutality, and it's not saying their situation isn't brutal, but I do think King Lou and Cookie there's beauty. First Cow allows for beauty in monstrosity,
but that's a
never
framing
rarely
thing.
does
I think. I think that is a framing thing. I think that's them. I think that's Reichardt.
That's framing. That's not
us...
the movie.
What is the movie?
That's giving us the perspective of time. Like, that is the difference. And I mean, that is the beauty of that movie, actually. Like First Cow is all about time.
It's about the cow.
You know, famously,
it's about the cow
stuff.
It's about the cow and it's about the milk.
I think biscuits.
The trap we fall into on this show is that what we are trying to do is separate great movies from each other, and so that we're not saying anything is very bad. We're just saying that something
Soul
is slightly better, and we have to find a way to reduce these movies some way into an opinion about them. And part of how I do that is, how does it make me feel? I am fine encountering life as a brutal experience, but I like movies that also remind us that there is transcendent beauty in the world, and both of these movies do that. But First Cow does a better job of making me feel it down to my bones, so that I'm not like that. I don't come out of the movie feeling like, why do I give a fuck if we make it or not?
Okay, I think that's
your
the
bones.
perfect.
That's not the movie.
That's a perfect intro, and that makes me think that Never Rarely is the winner, because based on what Greg said, Never Rarely makes it feel more to my bones than First Cow.
Wait,
yeah, I suppose it is more emotionally resonant. I think that Never Rarely sometimes always is more emotionally resonant. It probably will stick with me longer.
I think.
Well, Kate, you've never had a fucking cow.
I guess emotions are subjective, so I can't say
honey,
no.
Don't tell me my life. You don't know anything about me.
Cows can't grow up in Arizona. Fact.
Excuse me, it's one of the 5 major industries within my state.
Is that true?
Clearly, you didn't go to 4th grade in public school in Arizona.
How about this? Let me
know that.
Let me just hit this. This is why I hate people who say that 2020 did not offer awesome movies. Because the fact that, like, these two movies...
They're talking about the COVID all the time, and it's like, some of these movies were pretty good. Do you want to maybe, like, talk about that a little?
I think that these two movies going against each other...
That's COVID, that's not movies.
Thank you, Linda. But I think that these two movies going against each other is really harsh, because these are two fucking incredible movies, and I feel like that all of us, when it comes time to vote, we're going to have to vote real quick with our gut. Greg, go.
Oh, First Cow.
Kate?
First Cow.
Mike?
It's First Cow. It's the sound she made.
Tompkins?
I do as First Cow, but also as an ambassador for the MILF podcast, our approach would be more to see if we could, like, maybe kind of take the best of both and smush them. I don't know if that's on the table here.
A cow abortion?
A cow. That's exactly what I was going to say.
First, maybe cow.
Sorry
always.
for your child. Sorry for the loss of your child.
See, it fits. I think we can do this.
All right, so First Cow moves on against Lovers Rock. But before we do that, we have to give out the top actor awards.
Wow.
Tompkins, we're starting with you. Riz Ahmed is the first nominee from Sound of Music.
Well, I know what you think about this performance. I happen to think it was good. I love Riz Ahmed in general. Have ever since I saw him in Four Lions. And this is like the perfect role for his energy. He's so well plays, just like a pissed off dude. And this movie is like almost more like there's like all of these layers it keeps pulling you through. That's the layers, that's not the movie. Where it thinks it's like, oh, it's about a guy he loves music, but he's deaf. And then you realize, oh no, it's actually about his struggle with sobriety, and that's being processed through this other thing. And then you realize it's actually about how fucking pissed he is all the time at everything. And those are both layers on top of that. And it's so, and like literally like the beautiful transcendent at the moment is just like, he realized he can sit there and not be pissed for like 30 seconds.
Hey, Tomp,
Yeah.
have you thought about it?
I don't think
You
this
beautiful,
applies
angry
to anybody
baby.
else.
Yeah.
Just sit
No
on
one
the
else.
bench in Paris,
No one else has
asshole.
ever been angry.
I just keep thinking about donut crunching moment, right? Like,
Yeah.
I
Donut
crunch the donut, and oh shit, I should not have done that, and therefore I will make the donut
Put
come
it back together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put it back together.
That sort
I
of
gotta fix this
But I
donut,
can't
man.
find the middle piece.
that refractory period after a violent outburst is always so funny because you've got dumb like post-violence brain, and so you're just
Yeah.
like, oh, I'll have to remind myself not to do this, but I already did. But okay, let's put this.
There's
God,
nothing
this
worse
is a
than, like-
masculine experience. I have no clue what you guys are talking
You
about.
ever
I'm
gone
Having
into
to,
a
like-
donut shop and kung fu fighted, Kim?
Having to like pick up something you've
Kim.
thrown or whatever and be your own little maid because
Yeah.
you just had a little oopsie outburst.
Or like then you start like okay, I'm gonna have to explain why there's holes in this wall. That'll be fun. I
No,
fell.
I'm too busy explaining to the men in my life, like, no, there's a physiological response I have when you yell at the VHS, and I need you to not do that.
This Blu-ray
Dad,
is not
brother-in-law,
a-
friend.
Your next nominee is Ryan Lee from First Cow, and I will say that I do think that the other actor from
Way to emphasize Ryan in that phrase.
Oh, Ryan Lee, yeah, he's gonna get nominated. Yeah.
Ryan Lee?
I do think that the other guy who like gets to like milk the cow gets a lot of credit, but I do think that this guy of like always almost being on the border of capitalism is sweet. Why don't we do this shit? But not falling into that, and then instead saying like homosexuality is sweet. Why don't we do this shit? And then just always finding that line. I think that it is I hope he wins. I hope he wins, guys. Mike, the next nominee is Delroy Lindo from Defy Bloods.
He was my favorite in that movie.
Yeah, I mean, because he's the best. Kate.
Yeah, precisely.
Kate, let me break that down for you.
All right, mansplain, please.
Yeah, I'll explain why Delroy Lindo is the best there.
Hold on, you're gonna want to give Kate a good 20 minutes to clear her mind before you.
Yeah, sorry, as I throw all my toys on the ground.
It's like she's our new Zach De La Roca.
to play with the like annoying
I'm raging.
masculinity that he does. Like this would be a hack character in another actor's hands, but what he does with it is phenomenal. Because he shows the hurt so much while the character is trying to hide all the hurt he feels. The actor is putting a spotlight there, and that seems I don't know, a little hard to do.
Can I point out that he is
Not
such
for
a
me.
good actor that there is a clip of him from a TV show, a drama. It's like
Shut up.
The Good Fight, in which he is like pretending to be. He's acting as an actor. He's acting like he is on this talk show, and people share it every 6 months. Like, man, look at this guy totally own this white host on this show.
I thought you were about to call me out specifically for having done that.
No,
Because I have.
Yeah, I thought
Is this the new newsroom clip where everybody's like, "Look at Jeff Daniels, just take everybody to task."
Jeff Daniels is so smart. Greg, the next nominee is John McGarrell from First Cow.
Oh my gosh, Cookie, my man, my boy.
Your spirit animal.
Yeah, I love Cookie. Just an abiding sweetness and a tenderness, and not in like
A Joe Biden
a
sweetness.
Joe Biden sweetness.
Hey.
Our daughter
Pro-Israel Joe Biden sweetness.
Joe
I like
Biden
Cookie less now.
Joe Biden has fallen into another little nap. Nobody disturbed the president.
Anyone got any fingers I can fill my mouth with? Because God knows I'm not speaking up.
Mr. President, what do you think of this international crisis? Well, I think that the whole,
Munch, munch, munch.
that whole deal
Chop it away.
is gonna be
There's a lot I
coming
don't
to a
understand.
conclusion.
Busy being charming.
Yeah.
But Cookie, I think, is the beautiful center of this movie, that even in a brutal world, we can hang on to the things that are beautiful. And that's not going to save us from reality, but it will give us a life that's worth living, even in the face of that brutality.
Can I?
Kate.
This is. I'm so sorry. This is my milfiness popping out again. I cannot help but think that if he had been played by the Cookie Monster, there would have been something a little bit more essential.
Sorry for your husband and child.
See?
Munch, 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 munch. For Palestine.
M is for milking, and that's good enough for
And
me.
he needs the milk for his cookies.
He does.
Ah!
He really does.
Kate, the final nominee here is Jesse Plemons from I'm Thinking of Ending Things.
Mm-hmm.
Sound off.
Tell me why he is nominated.
Jesse Plemons is an incredible actor.
Life
I
gave him
think
Plemons,
that-
and he made Plemonade.
And he made lemonade. No, I think that Jesse Plemons in this role really brings a shocking amount of humanity within that absurdist universe. And I think, there's something about that face. There's like an everyman element that is kind of subverting the role itself.
It's that he
in some
has an
way.
inhuman face.
Precisely. And
his ability to act human.
Every man
is
in that he is no man. No man's land.
Ryan made an offended face because he looks like Jesse Plemons without a beard.
Thanks, Mike. I was so scared that nobody picked up on that, and then you were there.
All I'm ever paying attention to you is you, buddy.
Overall, I'm ever paying attention to you is you.
You're the best guy.
How's that Manhattan tasting?
And your winner,
Mike?
and
New
your
York
winner,
makes another appearance.
your winner is Riz Ahmed from Sound of Metal.
Yes.
Is that good enough
Hell
for
yeah,
you two?
little snack.
You sound a metal
That's
junkies.
so dope. Riz Ahmed, famously winner of the Oscar noms as well.
He won all the
Yes,
Oscar
he did. He
nominations.
run Oscar
Yeah.
noms on MILF. I would like to mention something. I remember saying in one of the episodes when I was incredibly drunk, Riz Ahmed, but I really punched the Ahmed, and I was and like as a white girl, there was really no good way
Yeah.
of handling that once it slipped out of my mouth.
Sometimes correct pronunciation is racist.
And that's what it felt like. It was like I leaned in too much. It's like when my mom, as a pseudo-Sicilian, goes to the Starbucks line and asks for the mozzarella panini.
Give me the venti macchiato.
Give me the
Extra
cake
weird.
ball.
All right, let's.
Actually, we dropped the E. Cockball.
Admiral Akbal.
It's a trap. Yes. we both got it. Okay.
That's a cockball. That's not a movie.
Ryan, is it easy to host a podcast with 4 stupid pieces of shit as guests?
It's fine. I've been in a lot of Dave Matthews cover bands, and I know what's up. We're gonna get this one more award out of the way before we get to the final thing. It's Best Actress. Kate, Jessie Buckley from I'm Thinking of Ending Things is nominated for Best Actress.
Are you doing this on purpose?
We're a huge fan of Jessie Buckley on this.
Hell yeah, we are.
I do think this show, for some reason, I don't know why, but like huge fans.
More than the
Huge
rest of the
fans.
world. 'cause we
No,
saw
yeah,
Fargo.
you guys. I've thought about her a couple of times over the past year, and most of them have been because you guys have been talking about this performance. You love her, and I completely get it. There is a tepid quietness that she happens to bring to that specific role that I think she manages to make incredibly compelling and complex within that story. And I think that she balances out the cast, I don't know if she's actress of the year, but I feel like me saying that is kind of, I know I'm pitting myself against true fans, mega fans, so
Tompkins,
I'll be brave.
Tompkins, the next nominee is Sydney Flanagan from Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always.
Do you want me to take as long as Kate did?
No, please don't. That was insane.
A full 20 seconds from a woman? Why isn't her mouth closed and on, mate?
My ears hurt from not listening. This to me is my. I mean, I she absolutely crushes this. The titular, never, rarely, sometimes, always seen is
her name was Janet.
Titular never
rarely.
Yeah.
the titular. Yeah. She plays never, rarely. Please, sometimes, always was my father. The scene where she's doing the questionnaire is one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever seen captured on film.
That's hard to beat for scene of the year, right? That's sort of just it.
How long is that one shot on her? I mean, it was 10 of Kate talking.
It was a woman, so I wasn't. Yeah, I was a little tuned out.
Never, okay, rarely, fine. Jesus, Mike. The next nominee is Yeri Han from Minari. We haven't talked about Minari in a minute. Yeri Han is the mom who was nominated for almost nothing.
Yeah, the rest of the world ignored her because they're idiots, and this show fucking loved her. If you listen to the Patreon episode, she is the MVP of this movie. She does so much there. She anchors everything. She is all we ever want on this show is for an actor to do two things at once, and she's only ever doing all of the things possible at once. She is angry. She is hopeful. She is trying to succumb her emotions while also thinking she should let them live. And it's phenomenal.
I think it's tougher. As far as Stephen Ewan has way more name recognition and stuff, and then you've got the performances from the grandma and the kid that are so eye catching. So and it makes it really easy to overlook her contributions to the movie, but she is very much a some things don't show up on the stat sheet kind of actress here. She is doing everything. And it's very difficult, and I think admirable, to kind of constrain yourself as an actor in that way against, a giant baby and a smaller baby. It's two characters.
She's just I want to have babies. I will marry a baby to make that happen. Being a woman is weird. Greg, the next somebody, I wanna ask you about her first, and then, or you first about her, and then I want to open it up. It's Carey Mulligan from Promising Young Woman. Did she do does she have a chance to win this award?
I think she did a good job, but as to whether or not she has a chance to win the award, I would say no, but because this wasn't much of an actress's movie, it was music and highly composed shots and beautiful, really scintillating dialogue. But I think because it exists in kind of a not quite realistic space, and she's going up against so many actresses who were working in almost a hyper realistic space, I think that's going to, maybe that's not fair. It's probably not fair, but I think that's going to keep her from we saw actors absolutely sink into their characters in such a way where it's is this person acting, or there's almost a documentary quality, and she doesn't get there.
I think playing sublimated rage is probably really hard to do, and to capture she's the best Batman we've ever had on screen. Watch how revenge destroys you as a person.
That's what I was thinking. Is there's so much of her that is Netflix's Punisher. So many of her line deliveries are I am Carey Mulligan.
Well, it's interesting.
Yeah, she's given a slightly more cartoonish character by the nature of the genre of the script. So it really has nothing to do with Carey, which we know she's one of the best actresses.
Yeah, I mean she's at Kate Blanchett level.
Years. Yeah,
greatness.
absolutely. She's truly brilliant.
I would
but
she
was not given the same kind of role. No, go ahead, Tom.
No, I just cutting off a woman again. I would like to see her win because
that doesn't
stop. It's less noticeable somehow when it's just me and you, Kate.
It's not. As a listener, it's not.
The God's honest truth is that it's because I talk as much as any of you. I'm not going to cast myself as some.
I'm less self-conscious
innocent.
of it, I guess.
Exactly.
In that environment. I don't know. We'll talk about it off air. I would like to see Carey Mulligan win because I do have a soft spot for this movie, even though I feel like the ending was just a real missed opportunity. And I sympathize with the ending, by the way, because I understand. It's sort of the same thing that like Jordan Peele was talking about with Get Out, where you know, it feels true to the material for the ending to be bad, but also like it feels shitty to the people who are watching, I guess, for the ending to be bad. And so how do you mediate that? I don't think it did as good a job, but Carey Mulligan's already freaking dead by the time that happened. So this to me feels like a great compromise, a great way to like recognize.
That's the thing, is that Carey knows when to get out. She knows when to get out.
Kate, we have one more nominee. Jessie Buckley from I'm Thinking of Ending, Sidney Flanigan from Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always, Yuri Hahn from Minari, Frances McDormand from No Man Land, Carey Mulligan from Promising Young Woman, and then Amara J. St. Aubin from Lovers Rock. How could she win?
I don't know. I don't know how she. I mean, I really was incredibly charmed, and I think that she did. I think her performance in terms of like handling the bullshit that comes her way.
She felt like she has been to a party or two. She knows what a friggin' party is. Yeah. That's for these
sure.
Dumb boys or these dumb boys.
Yeah. I think she more than anything captured the tone of that movie. I think her performance understood what the movie was going for and kind of anchored it almost. And that it both is like this combination of like lighthearted, fun, youthful, and dealing with real fucking shit. You know, like this incredibly sinister underlying world in which she is asked to navigate. I think she does a really, really good job.
And the movie needs her anchoring performance based, like literally Steve McQueen's cinematography, you know, is so he gets like distracted almost, where it's like, all right, now we're gonna take a break and look at some feet moving and stuff. And so like the way that she like is able to kind of like keep things centered is very helpful.
I keep going back to like her at the top of the stairs waiting to get into the bathroom and her being like, fuck you, get the fuck away from me. And then
Ben Affleck, notice how she doesn't fall.
Yeah.
Also, the way that because her character slightly changes accents depending on like who she's talking to. There's like code switching going on, but it's the most subtle code switching I've ever seen portrayed in a movie, where it's not like I have two completely different accents I've practiced. It's just like I speak slightly, you know, like slightly more in one accent or another based on the situation.
And that's what her and that dude are doing the entire movie is like, what can I do this one now? Can I do this one now? Like they're just testing accents of like, well, this one is sort of like more free flowing, but it means like that I come from a lower class or an upper class, and like what do I need to do right now? Like that goes on through the entire movie.
Yeah. And it'll change within the same conversation with another character.
It's kind of corny, but I do think that this movie's like very much about navigating spaces and how life is a constant
highway.
That's what you're doing.
And kung fu fighting.
And kung fu fighting.
Yeah.
All right, so your nominees for Best Actress of the Year are, of course...
We remember.
Jessie Buckley, Sidney Flanigan, Yeri Hahn, Frances McDormand, Carey Mulligan, and Amra J. St. Aubin. And your winner is Sidney Flanigan from Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always.
Yes.
Does that make sense? Mike, does that make sense?
Absolutely.
It feels bad to boo a kid, but Yeri Hahn is obviously the winner, and I protest. But that's fine.
The rest of the show will be done under protest.
Don't think of it as booing a kid. Think of it as booing a woman.
Boo! Oh, okay. That came too naturally.
We're going to take a break. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, the final winner of 2020.
Well, that is very, very funny. Or very sad. And perhaps now you have something to think about. Or very problematic, and perhaps we have something to think about. But in any event, I'm sure you have some reaction to what you're listening to. So why not check us out on the social media? You can go to Instagram or Twitter and find us at YourPopFilter. Email contacts@YourPopFilter. Hey, everybody, keep watching them movies.
Oh my goodness, guys, this is it. There are 2 more movies. And I'm going to set a timer because this one is rough for me, and I don't know about you guys, but it's Lovers Rock versus First Cow.
Oh. Different movies.
These are not the same movie. That is factual.
One time we did it.
They have like different people in that.
Do you guys remember 85 when we were like Brazil versus Brazil?
Yeah, and we were like, ooh, this has not worked out well. We thought this would figure itself out. But congratulations to Brazil and the fine people of Brazil. There are no losers here.
Okay, so with your heart, Mike, where is your heart going right now?
My heart is different. My brain made my own list a week ago.
Yeah, we all know your fucking body parts, dude.
Wants to
Where's
hear about
your
your
heart
brain.
going?
Yeah.
No one wants to hear where your butt is going.
My heart says sometimes there's kung fu fighting, sometimes there's mercury sound, and sometimes there's unfortunately sexual assault, and sometimes a movie should only be 70 minutes. And my heart's going with Lovers Rock right now.
I have to say that First Cow is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Really?
I am.
That's
I
a
am
tender
agreeing with
truth.
Wow. Now,
Mike. Is this surprising?
Yeah, that's very. I didn't know that you had said that you were so sentimental.
I'm not surprised about the part where you like First Cow because you said that. I'm surprised that Lovers Rock edges it out for you.
And the sentimental thing is not there. Like, both of these movies are very dependent on your sentimentality.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
You need to be open-hearted to watch these two movies.
And I feel like both of them captured a time. Now, obviously, we have more access to 70s, late 1970s England, and so we can see how it did. But there is a reality to First Cow and a there-ness and an actual situation, it feels like. And that, in terms of both movies, like, they create a different time and they show us the ways in which it's unique and the ways in which the human condition, like, is, essentially the same across times and locations.
Can I ask you this, though?
Yeah.
Are you going with your heart or are you being devil's advocate? Like, do you think that First Cow is the best movie of the year?
I do. I mean, I think I've been pretty upfront about that, like, since we basically saw First Cow.
If the people who read all of the show descriptions know Greg's love because there's no matter what the show is about, he talks about First Cow and all the show descriptions.
Soul was a bullshit movie. Go ahead and listen to this episode, I guess. First Cow was a different movie that we didn't talk about this week, but I guess go ahead and listen to the Soul episode of the podcast.
Specifically, it was Cookie.
To be fair to Greg, he loves Cookie, and he, like all of us, loves funnel cake, and only First Cow really highlighted how great funnel cake is amongst our movies.
Let me ask this, though, amongst the five of us.
No one's talking about this. Continue.
Kate, are you...
Oh, I'm sorry. Was my speaking interrupting your train of thought?
Oh, my goodness.
And I'm on Kate's side.
You know what?
Yes.
Obviously not, but also, in a different way of thinking, obviously yes. Is anybody pissed off by any one of these two winners?
No, these should be.
No.
These were
they deserve to be.
No. Yeah.
Rabba.
Kind of the MILF crew. You're not upset that, like, did you think that Sound of Metal was so good, or Sound of Music, Ryan? It's so good that
It's not funny, Greg. You're not always funny.
Sorry, yeah.
Greg, you're always funny.
Are you aggrieved at all? Do you think that it should have gone this far? Do you think that it should have been in our final?
I put Sound of Metal number one.
Yeah, I think I did too. Actually.
That movie, I just loved so much about it. I'm not gonna have another chance to say this. I'm so sorry, but the decision in Sound of Metal to have him be a part of a really shitty band is so genius and makes that movie so.
And then she goes on.
Been bad.
She goes on to instantly form a much better band that's basically just her.
Yeah.
And so you know, like, who it is. That's the problem.
I legit didn't know at my age. Like, I did not know if they were supposed to be a good band or a not good band.
In that genre, you cannot tell. It's all horseshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they picked the perfect genre because they avoided a situation where they had to do that awful thing movies do, where it's like, isn't this music so magical?
Yeah.
Are you feeling so?
It's like watching
so
stand-up
good
and
about the
TV shows.
music.
I'm like, they're telling me this is funny.
Oh shit, that's so awful.
Yeah.
So it's
it
the
got to
Studio
avoid
60 of hardcore bands.
Wait, do not besmirch the good name of Studio 60.
Mike's face visibly.
There was an
dropped at the
episode where they
mention
went
of
to
Studio
Pahrump,
60.
Nevada, and it was delightful.
Hilarious.
Listen, we all have.
I also
Go, Tompkins.
I love this final pairing because these are both movies where you can like see the very initial idea that started it, and it's the kind of initial idea people have all the time for like a screenplay and fuck up, and neither of these did. Where First Cow is like, oh, the West was actually full of people who weren't just like white dude cowboys. Let's just make a movie about them.
Yeah, there were cows
and Lover's Rock
over
is
there.
like, it's just hanging out at a party, man.
But yeah,
It nails it.
both movies are like MAGA is there. MAGA is in the borders, right? Like, don't go too far past your like Zelda level, whatever you're on, because MAGA is there. What is interesting right here, right now, and that's what I love about both movies is that like we have to
There's
sort
a
of,
presence to both of them.
yeah, and just like we're gonna sort of cheat a little bit. Like, we're not supposed to have this party. We're not supposed to milk from this cow, but amongst those two things,
Every great movie starts with a crime.
amongst those two things, isn't our life interesting? And normally I would say, fuck you, no. But it turns out, yes, it
Fuck
was.
the
you,
truth is-
yes.
Yeah.
Everybody's life is interesting because the human drama of just like living on this fucking place is really interesting.
Can we just say First Lovers Cow Rock?
Yeah,
No,
dude, why
that's
not?
a puss
That's
move.
why the people tune into this show.
That's the MILF
They
solution.
hear us
Yep.
absolutely waffle and then
Mash 'em
finally
up.
not make a decision.
Do you? Who knows?
Although
Out of
It's like
the-
a Glee mashup.
if we have to pick one, I say First Cow because as a MILF, I'm going to vote for the movie that's full of nourishing
yeah,
milk.
it's just got milk in there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if that's a good reason to choose.
I like cow's MILF.
Tompkins has decided that we're choosing Mike,
Yes.
Lovers Rock, or First Cow.
Don't want to do this, never want to do this, but I guess I'm contractually obligated. Or obligated.
Obligated.
It is.
Oh,
No, everyone here is incredible.
That's a contractual
I'm gonna be honest,
obligation. That's not the
Everyone
movie.
in this podcast is in incredible control right now.
Thank you. Wait,
We're
is she
all
mocking me?
avocado.
I love avocados. Just a little bit of espresso and ice cream. It
Avocados
is
number.
Lovers Rock. Thank you.
Avocado de vida.
You guys are all being good friends and making me not have to decide yet. But you can stop being good friends. I will decide right now. It's Lovers Rock.
Man, we haven't heard from Mike in like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
and then the first
That's
time
why
he
we were
talked,
teasing you, Mike.
you really just shit. Right in
Mike's
his mouth.
eyes are literally closed.
That's just my squinty face, Kate, and thank you for making fun of it on
You're Joe Biden over there, man. You were falling asleep while you're talking. And America
Falling
is
asleep,
completely
munching
around
on
you.
fingers.
Greg, Lovers Rock or First Cow?
I loved Lovers Rock. Everybody knows that. But First Cow, just it changed me as a person. And I love
Holy
it so much.
shit. Kate,
We got a
Lovers
battle.
Rock or First Cow?
First cow. Sorry.
You should be sorry.
Hits. It
Sorry,
was very
everybody.
beautiful, very, very beautiful, and more my type of movie in certain way. I mean, I really like Riker.
You love cow
is what I mean by
movies.
that. And I love cows. Yeah, no, that was one of my favorite movies of the year. So that's just a hard one. But Lovers Rock was awesome.
That's it. First Cow is your movie of the year for 2020.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Wait, what? How?
Maybe
You don't have to
because
slow down.
magic.
I just stopped listening, so I guess
That's
I'll
how
believe
voting
you.
goes. Tompkins, real quick, where can we
Yes.
find you and Kate?
You can find me at Tomp Official on Twitter. You can find Kate at Kate_Dellis. Is that yours? And you can find our podcast, MILF, which stands for Movies I'd Like to Fix, at MILF_fix.
Nope.
You can also
At
email us
movies
at
_fix. At movies
movies
fix.
_fix.
Because nothing's
nothing's
going to fix MILF, right?
Yeah.
Well, nothing could.
Don't need it.
Go ahead and
Yeah.
try.
You can also email us at podcast4milfs.com.
Can you
Wait,
believe we got
@gmail.com.
that? Can you believe we got that email? Podcast
I thought we
for
were going to get
MILFs.
MILF.com, and then it turned out it can't be. It looked like it was going to let me. It didn't say it was claimed, but that it's because it has to be at least 5 letters.
Okay, I'm
And
going
then
to
it
say
was
something really
like-
quick. Tomp, I think you're the most sober of everyone here, and you're saying nonsense. He means he thought he was going to get at MILF, not MILF.com on Twitter. At MILF, but it turns out that is too short.
What about at Farts?
Yes.
That guy's thing is only
Oh
for...
no, it's too short.
That guy.
Farts are
You
always
could
too
ju-
short.
like, but that's the thing is like, any permutation that stretches it out to 5 or more characters has been taken 50 times over.
See, yeah.
You cannot get anywhere near at MILF.
And God knows we tried.
Congratulations to Kelly Reichert. Congratulations to First Cow. You did it. You won 2020. That was awesome.
Congratulations to MILF.
And congratulations
And
to
congratulations to Moody. We are so grateful to be on this episode. We had so much fun. And yeah, we love Pop Filter. Thank you guys for entertaining our loud asses throughout the season.
I would say that MILF is the podcast of 2020, right?
For me, it is, yeah.
Especially because we did not have a single episode in 2020. Actually, we did not exist.
Of 2021.
Bold move.
Yeah, this is actually 2021.
What's more 2020 than not?
Yeah,
The not doing anything.
not knowing what year it is for what's going on. That's 2020 as fuck, man.
Yeah, guys, MILF is a really good podcast. I would check it out. I listen to the episodes often.
This is a long commercial.
Yeah. We listened to the episodes several times each and text each other about how funny not the other person was.
But
it is
how
only
we
us
are.
pointing out our own
as a
funny
listener,
jokes to each other.
It's clear that that's your personalities.
I know. I think it works on the show, though. Your guys' like undying affection for your own show, I think it's commendable.
That's true.
It's our baby.
Greg is the only one who brings that to our show, and he's very jealous that more people don't.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah?
You want to listen to me on a podcast?
Yeah, I
Every
would
once in a
love
while?
to.
Let me know how funny I am.
No. I'll listen to
No.
you, but I won't ever tell you how funny you are.
All right.
Keep watching those movies.
Keep watching those movies.
Bye.
Bye.
Spider Ham, very good. I'm proud of you. I'm still married to my wife.